Debra Opri, family law attorney.
Jane, listen, common sense. We go to the basics of education. These are parents. There's right and there's wrong.
Right.
And anyone who relies upon anyone telling them to do something instinctively that is wrong, it's wrong. These parents have problems. This is child endangerment, child abuse, and they should be prosecuted just like this Mr. Dalton St. Clair. They are basically exposing their children to danger, and they're the tools of the endangerment. And education is number one. You know how easy it is to get a liquor license? You know, it's not. But to have children today and to take them home and abuse them, and this is just an excuse.
Well, I agree with you. I think that people who have psychological problems should not have kids.
I wouldn't like to think so, but going off what I've heard so far, it could be possible.
What do you think happened to Zara?
I don't know.
Here's what he had to say, Debra Opri. The lady saying that they were keeping Zara in the attic and they thought it was squirrels. That lady has squirrels in her head, and she has no business saying things that were untrue. Someone else says she kept the child in a locked room and only allowed the child to come out 5 minutes a day. Those people reporting this should have their media credentials revoked. Your thoughts, Debra Opri?
Well, first, getting back to why they're gathering all this evidence of the prior residences, they want a pattern of conduct by the parents. And as far as these media credentials being pulled, you know, the reporters do their job. They have a report, they put information out there. You know, First Amendment, if they wanted to later retract something, that's fine, these people. But when you go into taking out mattresses,
right there,
talking to
more, and we're also getting ready for a primetime exclusive from Nancy Grace.
The great news here is that Dylan was in his car seat. He was asleep at the time that we found him.
Here's my big issue. Blackout drinker Danny Bonaducci. You're a former drug user. You've battled alcoholism. Isn't this a sign of being an alcoholic?
Absolutely, and I agree with you completely. It takes a battery of tests to get a driver's license, but anyone can procreate. I think on a case-by-case basis, and you may find this a little bit extreme, but on a case-by-case basis, I would say a court ruling of sterilization is not beyond belief.
I see Debra Opri gritting her teeth. She's not happy about, I think, the sterilization.
Listen. We have people who need education. Why can't we, in addition to an English lit course in high school, have parenting, domestic duties, child abuse, so that when those people get out of high school, they know what 2 and 2 is. This child was lucky. He was left in a car for 25 hours with an open door. He's lucky somebody didn't abscond with him.
Let me tell you something, Debra. I just want to tell you one thing, and I'm not proud to be an expert on this subject, but you could take parenting classes up the wazoo. I'm not a parent of a biological child. But if you're an alcoholic, you're going to drink to excess and you're going to black out. And so if you're an alcoholic and you have a child, the chance of you doing something dangerous is extremely high.
I agree, but forewarning. So if this person says, look, I've got a drinking problem, he shouldn't have custody of that child. And if the mother says you can go ahead and take the child and she knows he's got a drinking problem, then she's got the problem. But education
At what age would you
first.
start that education?
Second, punishment. Sterilization, I think
At what age would you start that education?
You know what, Rachel Kim?
I want to bring you know who's never going to learn?
Rachel
you know who's
Kim.
never going to learn? Amber, the little girl that's the Amber Alert is named after. She's never going to get that education because she was kidnapped and murdered. How do you teach that child anything, our next generation?
But Rachel,
letting them be
I want to bring
kidnapped and
Rachel
killed?
for a second.
Somewhere.
Trying to be polite here.
We need to start somewhere.